Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everyone. Today we are going to discuss about cloud computing. So it's basic of cloud. So we will discuss about cloud, what are their offering, and how it works. Like how it works, we can see in detail in later, but we will give just overview of infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, and software as a service. What is cloud computing? Cloud computing is delivery of computing services like servers, storage, database, networking, software, and other services like analytic or any other services over the internet. So this is called cloud computing. So you can see here servers, virtual desktops, software platform, application, and storage data. Those are being delivered over the internet. The user can access these services over the internet. He do not need to set up this infrastructure in on-premises. This will be hosted by cloud service provider, and user can use these services by paying subscription cost. So it's cost effective and faster. The user can scale up or scale down when they need. In this, customer do not need to pay or user do not need to pay upfront cost. Cloud service model. There are mainly three cloud service model which is popular, that is infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, software as a service. So these platforms are used by all those cloud service provider. How we can compare these cloud service model? You can see in traditional IT system, from networking to application, everything is managed by user or customer. In cloud computing offering, in infrastructure as a service, you can see the network, storage, server, virtualization, and operating system. Operating system is optional. Either customer can choose from service provider, or uh, they can also use, or they can also buy from service provider, or they can bring their own license. It's called bring your own license, BOYL. So they can also use this in this, and other like middleware, runtime application, and data. These are being managed by, you can see here, you manage in blue color, is managed by customer. Similarly, platform as a service, from networking to runtime, it's managed by cloud service provider, and the customer or user, they are going to manage only data and application. Similarly, in software as a service, nothing is managed by customer, everything will be managed by customer, and the customer, they will use based on their license or user or subscriptions. Infrastructure as a service. The infrastructure as a service is a cloud service operating model that provides virtualization computing resource over the internet. With infrastructure as a service, business can access and manage the fundamental computing infrastructure like virtual machines, storage, networking resource. Similarly, you can see here in infrastructure as a service, we are managing storage, compute, network, and user can manage this infrastructure from over the internet. In infrastructure as a service, the cloud service provider, they are offering compute, storage, network, and persistent disk. So in compute, we can see there are two type of instance that we can choose. Either it's predefined or customer defined. In predefined instance, the CPU and memory are defined in the ratio of 1:2 or 1:4, or similarly 1:1. And the customer, they can choose the CPU and memory by their own, like they wanted to have 6 GB with 4 CPU or something like that. They wanted to customize the CPU and memory, then they can choose the CPU, memory, and operating system. In storage, we can store the unstructured data. It's for non database. This storage device is for unstructured data only. So we have four type of unstructured the storage devices. These are standard, nearline, cold line, and archival. Standard data, a standard disk or standard storage we are using for hot storage, where we are accessing the files and directory very frequently. Similarly, we have nearline storage where we are accessing the files and directory, but the access time may be 30 days, within 30 days or something near to. We are not accessing daily, or we can say we are accessing those files and folders in 20-30 days time. Similar, this nearline storage is cheaper than standard storage. Similarly, we have cold line storage. This is again storage, and it's cheaper than nearline storage. We can accessing these data within 90 days. And similarly, we have archival storage. These storage meant for storing and keeping data for longer time. So we should, when we have a requirement where we wanted to keep our data for longer time, we should use archival storage. It's cheapest among all the storage options, all storage types. Similarly, we have network managed services, managing network services, where we can use the features like router, firewall, VPN, security, and access. So again, we have persistent disk. It's for especially meant for database, where we have performance disk, like where we need to have more IOPS or more throughput required. Then we should use this persistent disk. The disk types are here are standard disk. It's starting offering standard persistent disk, and it's faster than standard storage. And we have balanced persistent disks. It's again expensive and faster than standard storage. The performance persistent disk is expensive and faster than balanced persistent disk. And finally, we have extreme performance disk. These are very high performance and very faster in terms of IOPS. And these are especially, we can say it's locally attached storage, or we can consider it's as NVMe or locally storage SSDs. And persistent disk we can consider as SSDs. Balance disk is also SSD, but lower performance, lower IOPS, and standard is similar to like SaaS and other disk. Platform as a service. So platform as a service is a cloud computing model that provides a platform for developing, testing, and deploying application over the internet. So PaaS offers the complete deployment environment like tools, library, runtime frameworks, and other BI applications. So PaaS offering, we can see development frameworks and analytic and BI tool like development frameworks like .NET GRE and analytic BI tool like BigQuery and BigML. In software as a service, the software as a service is a cloud computing model where software applications are delivered over the internet such as services. In the SaaS model, user can access and use the software through web browser or a thin client without need to install and maintain the software on their local devices. It's like a subscription. We can consider it's like O365, Salesforce, or Netflix, Amazon Prime. We are not installing any uh, device or any software for accessing these applications. SaaS offering. SaaS offering like SaaS examples are O365, Salesforce, Netflix, and Zoom. These applications we are using over the internet, and we don't need to install any software or anything for using these applications. So neither hardware nor software. So everything is managed by cloud service provider. Let's take an example, let's take a layman example to understand the offering infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, and software as a service in layman term. Let's say we are using Zoom cars where we need to drive. We are getting a car. Car you can consider as a infrastructure like server, storage, compute, network, and operating system from cloud service provider. We are driving the cars based on our need. Where we are going, we are filling up petrol. If it's local small maintenance required, we are doing maintenance, and we are using this car. Similarly, it's considered as a infrastructure as a service. If you talk about Ola and Ubers, so we are not even driving. The driver is paid by Ola and Uber. So we are simply paying money for using these cab services for this going for from traveling from source to destination. And we can consider software as a service for public transport like bus, metro, and trains. So we are using this with minimum cost or low cost and using these services based on the users. Let's say we have one user, two users, depending upon the subscription model, we are subscribing these services and reaching to our destination. I tried to explain this infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, and software as a service in layman example. Benefits of cloud. There are lots of benefits of cloud, but we are capturing few benefits and we are trying to explain like reduce infrastructure cost. From the day one, we do not to invest in huge capex. We can start based on our need. We can start with minimum one server and expand to based on requirement, and that is on pay basis, like as you pay as you go. So even though we do not need to bother about space, cooling, infrastructure, server, storage, and any other IT equipment, everything is managed by cloud service provider. Capacity and scalability. We can increase the capacity, we can scale up or scale down based on our need. Refresh the aging infrastructure. Let's say all those devices are meant from electronics devices, and those are having life. Nowadays, like 5 to 7 years of aging, each hardware either it will become end of life or end of support. In that situation, we need to refresh the technology and upgrade the hardware. So being a customer, they do not need to bother about again investing in capex and managing those infrastructures will be taken care by cloud service provider. Support of new business opportunity. It gives some lots of opportunity to support new businesses. We can make it's like business continuity plan like DCDR and other backups approach. We can use it as per standard best practice, and it's helpful in all those development and collaborations. So these are the benefits of using cloud computing. There are lots many benefits, but I try to capture the few of the benefits. It's going to save lots of money, lots of time, and it will give a return on investment and total cost of ownership with cloud service provider. There are lots many cloud service provider in India, but my team panel are listed here. We can see Amazon Web Services, Microsoft Azure Cloud, Google Cloud, Oracle, IBM, BSNL, Cloud for C, Sci Future, ESDS, ITI, NetWizing, Nextdata, PI, Reltel. Reliance Cloud, CFI, Tata Communication, Weblinks, BSNL, ITI. These are government entity, even though Deltel. So the major hyperscale data center cloud service provider are AWS, Amazon, Microsoft, Google Cloud. These are hyperscale data center cloud service provider. Thank you for watching this video. I really appreciate your efforts for watching this video. See you in next video. Have a good day ahead. Thank you. Bye bye.